Welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. I'm Dan and I am going to play an M13 Swiss draft. I couldn't stay away. It might be my last. I have 3 boosters left from the MOCS hunt and I don't want to sit with boosters when M13 rotates. Or when M14 comes out rather. Because then it will be impossible to play. So I am very much looking to get out of this, but it's so much fun. And M14 looks like crap so far. Slivers instead of exalted. So I am up for some M13 still. If I win this, I will play again. If I lose, I don't know. It is Swiss draft. It is my 30th M13 draft on record, and I think about my 75th perhaps. This is the limited format I am the best at. Actually, I did have better results in a Master Edition draft, but I've never drafted anything this much as I have drafted M13. Never. In 20 years of Magic play, never anything as much as this. Alright. It eventually filled. I hope. I have MTG Goldfish nearby. And I'm also gonna bring up my M13 document. And I'm ready to roll. Prices are still high on M13 cards. For some reason it surprises me. I will immediately sell anything valuable I find here. I'm thinking of picking up a Master of the Pearl Trident for Merfolk decks for the future. But they are played in Legacy and some Modern, and not many people play that. And here we go! And I get Wit's End. I'm inclined to go Centaur Courser here. The strongest card in the pack is Searing Spear. I like that switcheroo. But I'm gonna take the Searing Spear and I'm gonna mark Centaur, Pacifism, Visionary, Walking Corpse, Battle Flight, Switcheroo that I really wanted, but it's weaker than Pacifism as well. Mind Claw is here. And I am taking the Searing Spear. Somebody's passing me a Staff of Nin, and I think that's a clear better pick than Volcanic Geyser. I have no idea why somebody would pass me a Staff of Nin. And they even passed all the uncommons. This must have been a foil. Staff of Nin is better than Murder, I think. So I'm picking up Staff of Nin here. And now I'm getting more Searing Spears. They are the better cards here. I think I have to take the non-foil one, but it's easier to wheel it will never ever wheel. But I'm picking up the foil one in case there is a slight little chance that it will wheel. Okay, now I have to choose another color then, and we have been sending a lot of stuff, but the black stuff wasn't very high quality. And I really prefer to be red-black to anything else, really. Maybe red-green. But I think this Bloodhunter Bat will serve me well to keep me alive for Staff of Nin as well. And here I'm getting Harbor Bandit, a 5th pick Windrake, and a Primal Hunt Beast. I think it's the Harbor Bandit actually. But I was tempted by that Primal Hunt Beast. Staff of Nin has fallen off the value list on MTG Goldfish. Checking MTG traders. $0.40 for Staff of Nin. I am for once playing under my real name. This account has not been very active, but it is there. In case I ever need to play under my real name. So what's happening here? Am I connected? I'm getting a bit worried. Seems that I am connected. And here we go. So what's in this pack? Only the guard asleep. A 6th pick sleep. Well, they have been shoving blue signals down my throat, and I cannot ignore this one. I think Arson is the easy pick here. I do need some creatures. So could I be blue-red and splash black? Hell yeah! This draft was really slow. Rise from the grave and crust essence gather. What do I want to rise? I might want to encrust stuff. But I think Rise is the stronger card here. And we're back to the first pack. So let's see what's still in there. Switcheroo won't be there. Mindclaw might be there. Not much stayed in the pack, but we pick up a walking corpse and we're happy about that. So I really want more removal. I want a strong black-red removal deck. That's what I'm aiming for at this point. And then whatever creatures I have are good. Especially with the Staff of Nin. But I am very low on creatures right now. So what about Flunkies? I think at this early point I could pick up Flunkies and start trying to go Flunky. But it is not a Flunky deck right now, but it could very well be. It seems that red is pretty much not drafted at all. Somebody took the Gazer, so somebody has incentive for going red. An Arm Stealer would be pretty sweet at this point. I'm not gonna play the Krenko's Command unless I have an Arm Stealer. So it didn't 12 playables, but the sleep looks very lonely. So Predatory Rampage, pretty strong. But I already said that Arm Stealer would be insane in this deck. So Arm Stealer or Searing Spear. I think it is Arm Stealer with this many goblins, but I'm not sure actually. But I hope I can take the Arm Stealer and that the Arsonist wheels. And somebody has a Predatory Rampage then that will wreck the hell out of me. But I have a murder. And that blue card looks unlikely at best. And Krenko's command looks very good, especially if I can pick up another Arm Stealer, but that may be asking for too much. I have no value, so I'm losing money on this draft. Unless I pick up that third pack Thundermaw Hellkite. I'm saying it now, third pack Thundermaw Hellkite. Thundermaw. Yeah, he's there, I promise you. My favorite disputed card, the Sands of Delirium. This is a typical deck that I will remove a lot of stuff and then I can win with Sands if I can't win without. I'm gonna pick Sands here anyway. The alternative would be Chronomaton. That can actually be very powerful in this deck. But I am going with the Sands. Oh, Disciple of Bolas. So who will I disciple in this deck? I don't have any strong cards to disciple. So he gains just 2 life and 2 cards for a Blood Hunter Bat or something like that. I don't even have... Ah! So tough. I'm gonna take the Disciple anyway here. But it is not the best deck for a Disciple of Bolas. But I get the Chronomaton and suddenly Disciple of Bolas looks a lot better. Battle Jester, Krenko's command again. Krenko's command is so bad. But I think I have to take it here again. I'm getting the 7th pick Flames of the Firebrand. That means red is very underdrafted. And the Ravaging Goblin. And another Arsonist. Things are starting to look pretty good. Distant Tome for the Arm Stealer, perhaps. 12 creatures. Wild guess. It will really be the worst Disciple of Bolas ever. I don't know if there's a limit to the number of Arsonists I will play. But I really, really want another Arm Stealer. Notice how well Arsonist works with the Flunkies. Another Flunkies would be really good for the Disciple as well. Wall of Fire Disciple, that's a bit crazy. I will not play double Rise from the Grave. Well, I got the removal heavy deck. So I remove a lot of stuff and then I hide behind my sands. Nah, I will mill myself with staff on in. But this guy doesn't fit in the deck. Wall of Fire is a lot better than he is. But I think this is definitely a deck that could use Wall of Fire. Revelation, Flames of the Firebrand, Blade Tusk Boar, Mark of the Vampire. A lot of good stuff here, but Flames of the Firebrand is the better card. But I will now be very sensitive to a green deck. And I need some beef. And there is some beef. Finisher. Blade Tusk Boar. Hello. Let's hope I don't disciple you. Disciple of Bolas looks super weak in this deck. But I will sacrifice an Arsonist if I have to. Well, hello there. Suddenly I know exactly who to sacrifice. And I have 27 playables. This will be interesting to build this deck. And okay, I'll go so far to say that I could sideboard out Sands of Delirium against another fast deck. But I'm definitely gonna keep it in the main deck. The question is, does Wall of Fire go to the sideboard? Probably. So what about Krenko's command? I'm probably not playing it unless I have something else. Disciple of Bolas so weak. Mark of the Vampire. There is not a lot of creatures to use Mark of the Vampire on. But I'm gonna play it. As it does swing games a lot. But I will be very vulnerable. I'm putting Turn to Slag into the sideboard. And I'd love another Blade Tusk board, thank you. And here finally is my Essence Drain or my Giant Scorpion, but I think it's Essence Drain. Not gonna play Disentomb. I'm not gonna play Wild Rebirth. I am not going to play Wild Guess. I might cut the Harbor Bandit at this point. So what about the Disciple of Bolas? Am I too much in love with it? He really doesn't have any decent targets at all. There's another Arsonist! And another Mark. And a duress for the board. Clearly too many 4-drops. But the Disciple is so strong. And so useful. This is 25 playables. The rest is not a main deck card. So maybe cut an Arsonist. But I really need to cut something at 4 as well. I'm glad I picked up the Blade Tusk boars because they will finish games. I suppose Wild Rebirth is a sideboard card of sorts. Against cards like Flaming Phoenix. No, I'm not gonna play Angel's Mercy. So I'm thinking about starting one of the Mark of the Vampires in the sideboard. To keep the creature count high. And if Disciple of Bolas comes out, eat a Walking Corpse, draws 2 cards, it's not good enough, is it? Oh, maybe Disciple of Bolas can't be in this main deck. Except that I can see like situations with Chronomaton, with Liliana's Shade. I'm not too keen on flunkies, really. This is 25 cards. And we need to cut. We have 14 creatures. We really shouldn't be cutting creatures. Mark of the Vampires just win games. Wild Rebirth, that should be Walking Corpse, right? So 15 creatures. Whatever is not creatures is Searing Spear, Flames, Sands, Murder, Mark of the Vampire. I'm cutting one Mark of the Vampire, but I will bring it in against decks that have a problem removing it. Which means they are not blue and not white. And I will cut. Will I cut the Disciple of Bolas? Will I ever cut a creature here? But do I want to have 15 creatures? Am I stupid cutting the Mark of the Vampire? Okay, I'm going down 1 Arsonist. But I'm sideboarding him in against anyone who has a lot of 1 creatures. So my curve is a bit off. Do I really need double red? Not really, so I'm going 9-8 here. Looks good to me. 14 creatures. Lot of cyber cards. Wall of Fire, Turn to Slag Duras, Wild Rebirth. They didn't cut the Disciple. But I cut Mark of the Vampire and 1 Arsonist. But I kept all the removal and the stuff in. I think this could work. Do I have 2 slow artifacts? I'm cutting Sands, putting in Arsonist. I'm not sure. So many drafts in this format and I'm still unsure about Sands of Delirium. I was so convinced, but it really betrayed me in the MOCS. And I just keep getting it all the time. The mana curve is not the best. You could make an argument for cutting another 4-drop and putting back Arsonist. But I feel that M13 is not that fast. And that my 4-drops are quite decisive, all of them. And that the Shade accelerates to the Staff of Nin. And also combos with the Disciple. Flunkies. So many playables, can't be bad. Right, time for the first round. So let's see if this works. There was a lot of tough decisions there building that deck. And I might have done it wrong. And we are playing Ramirez. And we definitely want to play first. That looks like a pretty sweet hand. He mulligans, and that will be his undoing. I am playing Chronomaton. Best first turn play in the format. And as he doesn't have a blocker now, I'm probably better off playing the flunkies. Which means that I attack and then play flunkies. And then I can burn off his team with flames. And I'm getting all my early drops, but I know the mistake I did here was building a 4-drop deck. But I seem to be rewarded for all the wrong things here. And if he casts something with 2 toughness now... No, he crippling blights the Chronomaton. Okay, that's not very good, is it? So, you should always pump your Chronomaton when you can. As I said, didn't I say that? And here comes Armstealer! For the Goblin Fest to commence. But there is a chance that the goblins will be killed by the evil black magician. No, leave Armstealer alone. Ah! Ha! That was exactly what I wanted. Flames of the Firebrand. But now I'm running out of steam. Giant Scorpion. Well, I can see a fitting end for the Giant Scorpion. But that's not the fitting end, is it? This is the fitting end. So we burn him. And then we beat down. And we got him at 11, but I have only 1 card left. He missed his 4th land drop, but here is a new land drop. And Tormented Soul just doesn't do very much, does it? But you can have that. It's okay. But if you try to enchant it, you know what happens. And I now threaten to win next turn, right? And I haven't drawn 1 single 4-drop from my stupid list of 4-drops. I hope it's Mark of the Vampire. It's Liliana of the Dark Realms. But that means that he's dead, right? No, Liliana can... Oh... Couldn't he sacrifice her to search for a... Maybe he has a 1-drop. No? What would that be? No, only Crippling Blight is possible. And I have now won the game, right? Attack Ramirez, attack Ramirez. Searing Spear you in the face? Maybe? No, please. So I win that, but he has Liliana, though Liliana isn't very good. So what are we up against here? We are up against someone who is entirely black. That means that he should be able to deal with Mark of the Vampire with murder and public execution. Do we want to duress him? We didn't see a lot of stuff. What do we really need? I think we're pretty good as is, aren't we? 2 Tormented Souls. Sands of Delirium is perhaps not the road to victory here. But what else is? Turn to Slag? Duress? I think I'll do it like that, but I'm not sure at all. I'm quite uncertain about Sand. Here comes Tormented Soul again. He's only dangerous if he gets enchanted. And first turn Duress should serve me well. Oh, he's blue! I didn't know that. Bye-bye, Liliana. Yeah, that sideboarding worked quite well. Double Tormented Soul. Just can't wait till Flames of the Firebrand. And I'm gonna burn the Windrake when it shows up. And these guys can just go at it. But he's not casting it. Oh, fair enough. So I take 2, and here he comes. It's Mr. Windrake. But he suffers Searing Spear to the face. And Arm Stealer or Rummaging Goblin. I think Rummaging Goblin must be more powerful here. It's not like I'm gonna Arm Stealer any of those, and I'll rather cast Arm Stealer on turn 5 so I can immediately use him. But here comes the Duskmantle Prowler. And I take 4. What to do? What to do? Well... so many good cards. What do I want to discard? But I want to hit the Arm Stealer here. So I am discarding the Blade Tusk Boar. Getting the Firewing Phoenix. So if I find the mana next turn, I'm going to kill everything he has. So I Searing Spear him, play the Arsonist, and then if I find the mana now, I just wipe the board. Unless he plays something, which of course he does. But, oh, he essence drains that thing, but that's not the end of the world. And, whew, flunkies. Well, the deal still remains, doesn't it? So I think my best play here is... Isn't it actually to play the arms dealer? Even though removal would truly suck. But he has to draw it. He has to draw the Crippling Blight. Oh, there's that Disciple of Bolas guy. But I'm sacking Goblin, killing you, sacking that Goblin, killing you. I'm playing flunkies that I can disciple next turn. Yes, please. Fairies wouldn't be too bad here. I would still sacrifice the Goblin and kill them. Yeah, it was the Fairy Invaders. So we kill them. And he has 22, I have 9, I have 3 cards. I should win this pretty easily. What about sacrificing the Firewing Phoenix? That's sort of fun, actually. Okay, so I swing. And then I sacrifice it. And that should close out the game unless he can remove it. And also enable a lot of stuff. Like the Staff of Nin. Yeah. Attack for 5, play Staff of Nin. Decent turn. Decent turn indeed. Next, I need 8 to get the Phoenix back. But I think everything is academic at this point. I am crushing this guy. Alright. 7 mana probably means I play the creatures and rejoice. Harbor Bandit. Too little, too late. Six lives. Throw card. Swing with everything. Sleep. No, that's a sorcery. Downpour. Well, that works. I feel safer killing off the Harbor Bandit there. He looks menacing. What if he has a Mark of the Vampire on him or something? But of course I should have left mana to get the Phoenix back, because it costs 3 red, right? Pretty noobish, pretty noobish. But what do you do now when they come for you and you don't have any cards? Yeah, that's it. That looked like a pretty stable deck. First round is over and everybody won with 2-0. So let's see if I can repeat my feat here. My opponents are Almasa. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. And Advin. And Advin's match was very weird. There were 50 seconds left after the first duel. And then just the second duel was 1 second long. So D-Tutor just concealed, I guess. So I hope to run into Advin then. He's probably the weakest of them. And if he has a really strong defensive deck that can draw out time, then I'm so happy, because I have Sands of Delirium. And it's Troy. I don't want to mulligan. Got a pretty strong card here, a strong start here, I guess, unless he can kill the Arsonist, which of course is very likely. White probably means a lot of small dudes, which will make me very happy. So it's red-white. The white ring. Yeah, he will attack, of course. And how fast will this grow? On my turn, when I have 3 mana, this will be a 2-2. Sad that I missed the 3-drop there. He still won't be able to block next turn. Pacifism will hurt so bad. He's now a 2-2. He will be a 4-4 right in time to avoid. The Essence Drain. Do I go for Disciple of Bolas here? What am I talking about? He will be a 3/3 next turn. And then I can kill him. Is it a Shade or is it Disciple of Bolas? I think it's the Shade. So I hope he doesn't have any protection for this Squire now. Of course he will play something fantastic, like a Sarah. No, it's a pacifism. So double pacifism. And I really hope he doesn't have Show of Valor here. For now I can set up a really big Disciple. Nice. So right now I can do a Disciple for 3 with the Shade. Is that enough? Probably is enough. Cause I need to play Mark of the Vampire and something then. So I think I'm going to do that. Ooh, Battleflight Eagle. Yeah, I'm going for the 3 card thing. So pump that guy. Play Disciple of Bolas. Sacrifice him. Draw some cards. And next turn I can play Flames of the Firebrand and Mark of the Vampire. But I'm not sure Mark of the Vampire is the right play. It might be Flames of the Firebrand, Firewing Phoenix. Yeah, I think that's the case. Blade Tusk Boar, I can block that guy. All day. Yeah, this is quickly getting out of hand, right? So let's burn him. Charge in with these guys. Armstealer would be crazy now. But he is offering the trade. Why would he do that? Firewing Phoenix. Who is about to get Mark of the Vampire. Will I do that? Will I offer the 2 for 1? Hell yeah! But that doesn't work now. But it does work if I put the Mark of the Vampire on the flunkies. So let's do that. Or do I rather trade and then get it back? No. kill the Phoenix. But the flankies are not alone. And Disciple of Bolas have won this duel, and think that I almost left him out of the deck. But Disciple of Bolas should always be in the deck. And we are at 1-0 here. Reckless Brute. Whoa! That doesn't do a lot, does it? Oh, he cast him after the attack phase. Adding insult to injury. And it's 1-0. So, you can actually make a case for taking out Mark of the Vampire here, as it is so likely to be pacified. So what would you play instead? There is not really a lot to play instead. Maybe a turn to slag actually. I think so. Yep. I'm not going to get 2 for 1. And yeah, I'm going for the slow removal route here. He takes a mulligan. Well, now I have the curve that I want. War Falcon. It's pretty nice. There is my arms dealer. Rummaging Goblin. Will ensure that don't run out of useful things to do. Well, I will rummage. No, I don't want to rummage a land. I will rummage a swamp. And then play the Shade. And he has missed the land drop. So now whatever he plays I can... Whoa. Okay. Well, here comes Liliana's Shade. I will thump him. I will rummage the swamp and play the Arsonist. And I've got this match, I think. Because now things will go insane when he plays a creature with less than 4 toughness. Though he might play a Flames of the Firebrand, which would suck. Ape Balls. But he kills the Shade. That's not too bad, is it? Well, discarding another swamp, getting murder. Well, I guess I'm done. Finally. Then I can get my 2 for 1. Oh no. Well, what are you throwing away here? Are you throwing away turn to slag? Or do I even throw something away here? Isn't this the control I need for the rest of the game? He might be conceding here actually. He has lost connection to the game. So the plan here is to play Arms Dealer, sacrifice the Arsonist, kill those two, hit with the Rummaging Goblin I presume, and then beat him down with Rummaging Goblin and Arms Dealer. That's not a very strong plan, is it? We should be looking at... well, that's interesting to rage quit being 1-0 in the tournament in a Swiss draft. You can't do that, can you? I don't know what he's doing. But I'm glad I'm playing Swiss drafts. Let's look at some game here then. Maybe a pauper match. Maybe this pauper match between Sapiko and Radul. Oh, it's Affinity versus Stompy. That's so much fun. But this Pit Skull doesn't have 4 power. That's an oversight. Well, I guess I'm pausing here for a while. Hey, look at this! Urdjur posted on the 20th of April this pauper deck that wins on turn 2. Discarding a lot of cards to Tireless Tribe. This is Tireless Tribe. You cast him on turn 1 and then you make him a 1/21 creature on turn 2. And then you cast About Face or Inside Out. That switches a target's creature power and toughness. That sounds like fun. I might sleeve that up and play it. It's not impossible. He is still not back, so I expect him to time out. But it's weird because I think he's going to lose the entire tournament as well when that happens. I'm still connected. Stompy deck is getting trashed. And he will get thrown out of the entire tournament, so it's weird. And I don't think his situation is hopeless at all. He still has 6 cards. I don't have any threats, really. So he could still stabilize. And he's back. So I played Arms Dealer. I sacrifice a goblin, killing that guy. Killing that guy. Yes. Yes. And I beat down with Rummaging Goblin. But he has plenty of time to recover here. But he needs to draw land. So I might actually rummage to find the threat. He's gonna Oblivion Ring the Arms Dealer. And I could just go in full beatdown mode here. As I have so much removal. He still has 7 cards in hand. But I have a 4-turn clock. The problem is that he can also have removal. In that case we will be at an impasse. Reckless Brute is fairly meaningless. Do I bolt him? I guess I do. The alternative would have been to just take it on the chin. But now I have lethal next turn, so I should kill his guy with murder and then hit for 7 and then Searing Spear him. So if he plays one creature, I have won this match. He was away for almost 8 minutes. And here is Primal Clay. If Primal Clay is 1/6, it doesn't even help. And it is obviously the right play to make him a 1/6. But this game is over. And 2-0, 2-0. Maybe I stand a decent chance against Almasa, who is probably crushing Advin. But they still have some time to go here. And my weird forecasting cost deck seems to do pretty well, I'd say. Let's have a look at it. This is not the curve you want. I can hear Marshall and John Laux screaming at me, "This is not your curve!" And it isn't. So we're waiting for Almas and Advin. I thought Advin would be crushed, but he did manage to win a game. I really hope I win the last game, because there is no value here. And I need to win this whole draft if I'm not gonna lose significantly by playing it. So yeah. And soon we will be in the final. It is interesting. I wonder what Advin does. His deck seems super slow. Of course, both his matches has been slow, so I'm really happy that I have Sands of Delirium in the deck. But Advin has now been defeated, so we are facing Almasa in the final. And I don't know what I'll do if I lose this. Maybe I'll play a Phantom Sealed and try to win a booster. I seem to have a pretty decent grasp of the format. And it's not uncommon just to get... Of course, there is absolutely no value. You may think that commons and uncommons are pretty worthless, but the first times you draft a format, they are not really worthless, because you will need them at some point, maybe in the future. But now I have like maybe 80 of every common, so... Alright, Almasa dropped the duel, I did not, and I'm drawing like a boss. So it's all about getting Staff of Nin active now, so I'm not mulliganing. He's blue, and he plays Jace's Phantasm. Well, I know what the Arsonist has to say about that. He might actually be milling me. Which is of course not very dangerous at all. The big thing here is that I have to resolve Rummaging Goblin and the Liliana's Shade. And probably I will need to kill a bigger threat here with my Searing Spear. It's 10 cards, is so much. And he misses the land drop. It's so critical to play the Rummaging Goblin here that I will avoid it this turn. And hopefully be able to cast it past the counterspell next turn, as he will cast his 3-drop here. such as a scroll thief. God, I should like make strategy videos for this game. That's a very important thing to have online now, as I missed this land drop. But he has already missed one land drop, so we are not in trouble yet. Now we really want to resolve Liliana Spectre. We really want to resolve it. If he casts something to tap out, like the Dalkin and Trancers, it's party time. Am I gonna swing here? What do I discard? I will discard a Mark of the Vampire. And I will cast the Disciple of Bolas into open mana here. Or maybe even the Blade Tusk Boar, giving me a bigger chance to resolve. Of course he could switch through it, but even then I'm not too worried. So I am casting the Blade Tusk Boar. And I fully expect it to be countered. But it isn't, so it was obviously the wrong card to cast. And now if he taps out, unsummon. Okay, fair enough. If he taps out now, I will definitely go for the Shade. He does tap out. So death is approaching fast for our friend. Oh my god. Yeah, feel free to unsummon this. And we now have it. There. And we will attack. The question is if you want to use the Rummaging Goblin or not at the end of his turn. But I think not at this time. And now we really want to resolve the Staff of Nin. But we can wait for a tap out. And build on this gigantic Liliana Shade. But I don't think any of our cards is worth discarding to... Oh, the Phoenix. Well, we can just hit him for a lot. Seems like fun. And we probably actually hit him for 3. And play the 5-wing Phoenix. He does have the unsummon. I wonder if I should risk the Staff of Nin. He has a negate, I'm sure of it. But if he taps out, please tap out. No, he's cloning the Phoenix. But that's good, because that gives me a chance to test my murder here. Because I will murder the Phoenix. And maybe I should look for land and to have another play, but it's not necessary. Yeah, let's go to Murder Town. Yeah, feel free to unsummon it every day. And here they come. And I think I'll cast the Blade Tusk Boar here to be certain. And my fantastic 4-drops are just ruling the world right now. One Mind Scalp will make the Phantasm enormous. And there we go. He has the 5/5 flyer, though it will do him little good. And he will actually lose the game just because he played Mind Scalped. That thing is a real bother. Sleep. I don't want to sleep. He swings for 6. And next turn he swings for another 6. So do I pump the Shade to 5 and gain 5 life. That seems like a pretty good thing to do. And 5 cards. And he's at 5 life. It's like everything is 5. And there's no way he can recover from that, is there? I will be at 13. He's not the fastest player. Not all the blame was with the other guy. But this guy seems to be mono blue. That's fairly brave. And it has worked well for him, playing the worst color in the set. But we have a 5/5 Shade now, and now we're gonna sacrifice him on the altar of Bolas. And Bolas will be most pleased. Alright! Okay, I feel quite safe now. But he's not. And of course, we have the Blade Tusk Boar clock on him. So he's pretty much... Actually, we will kill him with the Blade Tusk Boar Flames of the Firebrand, even without attacking. So he is in a pretty tight spot. And Disciple of Bolas shines again. I almost didn't include it. But he finds a way. Alright, Mr. Almasa, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? Well, he's going to waste his clock. I'm 2 minutes ahead of him. So this account hasn't really played much. 1632 rating. That's pretty embarrassing. Well, does he smash me? No, probably not. But I should make a note of the sleep. That is always unpleasant. Okay, he does attack, which is kind of surprising. So how are you gonna stop the team? Is this how you're going to stop the team? He's going to clone something. Oh, clever. Interesting. That wasn't too shabby. Though I will hit you for 7. And that means I will still kill you, right? Oh, arm stealer. Okay, let's... Okay, I need to kill his guys. And I will do that by playing arm stealer. And an arsonist. And I have enough damage on the field. I can actually sacrifice this arsonist as well. And I sacrifice an arsonist to kill the archaeomancer. The arsonist kills the disciple of Bolas. Yes, please. So he gained 5 life and drew 5 cards. It should really help him. But I do have the Flames of the Firebrand as an extra surprise. Will he now die? Or will he fight back to the bitter end? No, he died. That was fun. Okay, we shouldn't have Mark of the Vampire in the deck now, because this guy will mistreat the guy who is marked by the vampire. So Duress looks pretty fun. Arsonist was really great, but he was great with Arm Stealer. So I think Duress is the play here to get rid of sleep and counter spells. We didn't really see any counter spells, but I'm sure they are there. Clone, can't really profitably clone my guys except the Disciple. That was a fairly decent clone. But I think I'm good, and I'm 2.5 minutes ahead of him. I want the Sands of Delirium this guy to death. And there I get my wish, but I don't get mana. But I do have 2 1-drops, so I'm keeping this hand. And there's Jace's Phantasm again. Maybe he's the best 1-drop in the format. Nah, he isn't. But we do want him to die. But not that much. Let's duress him. Tricks of the Trade, Talrant's Invocation, and the Blue Ring. Well, Talrant's Invocation, you are too good. And the ring is actually pretty good as well, but you need to get rid of your Talrant's Invocation. And I will Searing Spear him once he has cast something else to put on the guy. And of course that happens now, so I have to kill him now. But he doesn't play the ring. Why doesn't he play the ring? Because he wants to quip it immediately? No, he really can't do that. Let's send the walking corpse his way. Like bad Walking Dead reference. Okay, now he has to play something. And here's the ring. He's going to equip it. And I'm going to take out the Phantasm. And that'll leave him with a worthless enchantment in his hand. But I don't have any lands. So I really want to draw some lands. But failing that, I will just kill him. But now he has drawn stuff as well, so we know he has Tricks of the Trade, and I don't really have a way to do anything here except beating down with the Walking Corpse, and I can see that being a plan that doesn't really work very long. But here is Goblin Arsonist to help out. Putting him on the 6-turn clock. That will absolutely not be good enough. Maybe he plays too few creatures. He has the Mind Sculpt, he has some crap. There's a risk of Fairy Invaders here. It's got to be the Arm Stealer now. Right? Because he doesn't have any removal for creatures such as Arm Stealer. Because he is mono blue. Counterspell. Oh yes! There it is! I knew it! But if I knew it, why did I do it? I had to take the chance. Okay, one more mana and I will play a game-breaking creature and win. If I don't get one more mana, I will play Sands of Delirium and win. Very, very slowly. Would that be a mistake, actually? Should I rather play the Arsonist? I think it is Sands, actually. Though having him on a 3-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock is probably correct. So we are playing the Arsonist. He's flooding, I am missing all my land drops, but I'd rather be the guy missing the land drops than the guy flooding. And he's playing Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. That is forbidden! Only idiots play that card. I'm sorry, Almasa, but you shouldn't play it. You are better off playing an extra land, except when you get to equip it with the ring. So now you have inevitability. But you don't really have the time to use it. But here comes Tricks of the Trade! No, sleep. That absolutely sounds like the time to play Sands of Delirium. But in reality it is the time to play Firewing Phoenix. What if he clones this? Maybe I should play the Blade Tusk Boar actually, because it's much easier to handle the clone of the Blade Tusk Boar than the clone of the Firewing Phoenix. So that's what we are doing. I still feel pretty good about this. Merfolk of the Pearl Trident is now a 2/2 creature. Stop the presses. But what is in his hand? Vedalken Entrancer. Mr. Don't do a whole lot. So I'm beating down with the Blade Tusk Boar, and I will threaten lethal next turn with the Firewing Phoenix. And my deck is actually too violent to allow me time to use Sands of Delirium, but that is what you call a positive problem. So he is now dead unless he can handle the Phoenix or the Boar. And the Boar. And he is! And I won the whole tournament, not losing a single game. Okay, after a sweet win like that, we have to make a note of it. We have to put it in the M13 document. I'm gonna miss M13. God, this is sort of sad. So on the 7th of May, red black M13 Swiss Draft 6-0. So what was in the deck? I played 10-9 Swamp, 8 Mountain. That's not at all true. I played 9 Mountain, 8 Swamp. Creatures. I played the Bloodhunter Bat. We never saw that guy. 2 Blade Tusk Boar. 1 Mog Flunkies. 1 Arm Stealer. That Arm Stealer really worked overtime. 3 Goblin Arsonist. I should probably have played the 4th. 1 Chronomaton. 1 Disciple of Bolas. He is the best. 1 Firewing Phoenix. Okay, he is the best. 1 Liliana's Shade. He is not the best. Is that Liliana with 1 L? Probably. 1 Walking Corpse. 1 Sands of Delirium. 1 Staff of Nin. 1 Essence Drain. 2 Flames of the Firebrand. 2 Searing Spear and 1 Murder. Relevant Mudder. Relevant sideboard cards. I had 1 Wall of Fire. 1 Turn to Slag. 1 Duress. 2 Wild Rebirth. 1 Mark of the Vampire. I actually had 1 in the deck as well. And 1 Goblin Arsonist. I played black, blue, 2-0, red, white, 2-0, and mono blue, 2-0. That was very decisive. 6-0 drafts are always the best, but it's hard to do actually. So I am very pleased with this. And I will also enter it into my draft document. And I will force you to watch all of it. This is my draft document. M13 Swiss Draft. Got a QP that I'm not going to use. My first pick was Searing Spear. 3-0. Ramirez. Troy RV 2-0. And Almasa Mono Blue 2-0. I won 3 boosters. My own account, I was red-blue. I now have some sort of rating. It's 1640. That was a sweet return to M13, and now I can't stay away from it. You know that. I will play some more. The highlights of the deck. Well, Disciple of Bolas, Murder, 2 Searing Spear, 2 Flames of the Firebrand, Firewing Phoenix. Need I say more? Chronomaton, Arm Stealer, 3 Goblin Arsonist, Staff of Nin, Sands of Delirium. Well, that's what you want in a red deck. I think it's still 11.6. I have played now plenty of drafts and my win percentage is 68.61%. And I received no random sell value here, but the boosters count for something. And my balance is minus $118 in how many drafts? Plenty of drafts. 20 to 202. That's 182. 183 minus 1. 182. So I'm losing 65 cents a draft, which must be fairly decent. I think I can make up for that with trades. Thank you for watching MagicGatheringStrat. I am Dan, and I will probably harass you with an article about this draft as well. Thank you.